white, and I was the only black man in my class with that degree. I got a departmental scholarship for that. They gave me like a small partial scholarship for that. And when I found out that it was just me, I mean, we had some black women in our class, but as being the only black male studying one of the hardest majors on campus, you know, that was a big excuse me, that was a big accomplishment for me. Like, they had put me on the home page, right in the middle of the home page of the school website, you know, and I made my mom extremely proud. That was one of my favorite things to do. But I say all that to say, man, we gotta take care of our families, man. We gotta take care of our communities. We gotta, you know, stretch out our potential as black men.
As a kid, who was the most influential person to you? Who actually kept you on the right path, and how did you receive that?
So, do you mean like personally or like figuratively?
Either or. What made you not go the other direction? What made you not go the route as your friends?
Great question. So, I'll say this. My grandmother had like 14, 15 kids. 4 of them were women, and the rest were boys. So I grew up with a lot of uncles. And my uncles probably done anything that I could think of, you know what I'm saying? So they had a lot of experience in life, and I learned from a lot of the decisions that they made growing up. And also, they always stayed in my ear, you know what I'm saying? I looked up to my uncles growing up. I ain't really know my father. I didn't meet my father till I was about 16, and I met him walking down the street. I literally bumped into him, so I ain't really had much direction on that note. But my uncles, they were kind of like my father. I looked at those guys like my father, and they always stayed in my ear about, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing and, you know, taking this, what we do, to another level. You know what I'm saying? Embracing my last name. Like, work and live for my last name. Figuratively, Malcolm X, man. Malcolm X was my guy, man. I love studying Malcolm X, man. Seriously. I love how serious he carried himself. I love his whole story and how he changed his whole life around. And he a testament to say that it's never too late. Like I was saying about the school thing earlier, it's never too late to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And change who you are for the better. Like, I love how militant he was. Like, a lot of people have their own definition of gangster. I think Malcolm X is the epitome of being gangster. Changed his whole life around. He went from being in the streets, he was a drug addict, ended up going to jail. He ended up learning about Allah once he got locked up, and he became Muslim in jail over his time, and ended up coming home, reading as many books as you could think of. Once he came home, he started working with the nation. Over time, he didn't feel the nation was exactly where he wanted to be, so he crossed over to Sunni Islam, if you guys know what that is. He traveled to Mecca. He prayed with Muslims of all different nationalities, and he started to understand the truth of life. You know what I'm saying? I love what he stood for as a black man, like, very intelligent. He would never let anybody play with him in any way, and studied everything. He never not wanted to know something, especially if it was relevant to today's times and or what he was talking about at any given time. So yeah, Malcolm X, one of my heroes for sure.
Yeah, I like reading books myself. I like a lot of books. I noticed you noticed one of the books that I had up there. So do you read a lot, or what's your favorite book, if you do have one?
Wow, that's a great question. So I haven't been reading as much as I used to. I'm trying to get back into it, but I do read. So my favorite book is, and this may be a little crazy, my favorite book is The Great Gatsby. And that's my favorite book because I never was really fond of reading growing up. I love watching movies. It was easier for me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. But the reason that became my favorite book is because that's when I fell in love with literature. You understand? Once I read the book, you know, I felt like me and Gatsby, the main character of the book, had a lot in common. I love how the writer, you know, depicted his life and just made the character very relatable. Gatsby, for those of you who don't know, he started off with nothing. He literally came from nothing, and you know, he changed his whole life around, ended up becoming very rich and successful. And also the book depicted like some real life details, like things that happen in real life. Like life won't always get that great ending, but you know, it was very realistic. But yeah, that's my favorite book.
So what kind of goals do you have now? What's your biggest goal that you want to accomplish, or that you're going to accomplish?
So my biggest goal is, you know, taking care of my family, making sure that they never need or want for anything. You know, I still got things that I want to do as far as like making music and, you know, becoming more successful. I kind of want to go back to school and get my master's. I just want to maximize my potential. That's my goal, for sure.
So what kind of music do you do?
So I like rap, you know. I've always been a hip hop fanatic. I grew up on hip hop, you know. I grew up listening to Jay-Z. That was my uncle's favorite rapper. So every time I got in the car, I heard Jay-Z. I know every Jay-Z album from the beginning of his career to the end. My favorite current rapper right now is J. Cole. I love J. Cole.
Yeah, he nice, ain't it? J. Cole's real nice.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he nice.
And then it's different type of rap. See, a lot of people don't understand. Like hip hop, it has a wide range from like, you got your trap rappers, your street rappers, you got your conscious rappers. You know, I like Lil Durk, you know, I like Kodak Black, G Herbo, those guys. But yeah, man, I feel like a lot of us can relate to a lot of the music that's being put out by those guys.
So do you have any music out now that you want to tell the people they need to go listen to or go check out that you got out? You got anything out that you want to tell anybody about?
So I don't have anything released as of yet. I'm a perfectionist. I have probably about 2 albums worth of music saved up. I haven't dropped anything yet. I'm a perfectionist, so when I do drop it, I want it to be exactly how I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my work.
I heard that. So if you wanted to tell somebody something, I don't care who it is, something positive, of course. Before I do that, tell me something positive about Baltimore. Tell me something that you see that's great in Baltimore first. I know you said the food, but anything else besides that you say, man, Baltimore is great for, you finish the sentence. Baltimore is great for what?
Baltimore is great for making men. You know, it's a tough city here, and it's like it could either make you or break you. But I feel like it creates this heavy compassion in us, especially as men and women. You know, like no matter where you are, no matter where you go, you live with that fire inside you, you know? It's like I feel like if you could make it in this city and you could survive in this city, then you can make it anywhere in the world. You're born with that passion here in Baltimore City.
You know, the funny that you said that. You know, I did a lot of traveling, and I want to tell everybody, man, every city is like that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Every inner city is like that. You know, we come up to a point where, and like you and myself, I was raised with a father too that told me the same thing you told, that your grandfather told you, and I think that's one thing that's lacking, is people telling the younger youth that anybody gonna give you nothing, and you gotta work, you gotta strive 10 times harder. It's not gonna be easy, but you're man. I want to commend you. I'm glad I met you. I want to commend you, man.
Appreciate that, brother.
Because man, I tell you, I say it all the time. our triumph is in our struggle, and I know going to college is not easy. So, man, I want to commend you. Anything you want to say? Anything else? Anything else that you want to share with the people? Well, I'm not the people, the family. You know, when you come over, everybody's family, man.
For sure,
it's
man.
Family, man. Everybody's family. So,
I saw this guy. We grew up around the same people. I knew him, but we weren't like very close personally. But he dropped a suicide note on his social medias the other day, and then he committed suicide.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, and we weren't close, but it kind of touched me, like as a man, to like try to figure out what was going through his head that made him get to that point.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever contemplated suicide before? Being in the city and in this type of predicament?
I've definitely thought about it on a downtime, but me, I couldn't see myself going through with it. I feel like you have to be a very strong-minded individual to actually go through with that. Yeah. We all have bad days, you know, and where I was going at with this is just, man, it's never too late, man. It's never too late. You can always turn your life around. That's why I say Malcolm X is one of my favorites. Heroes whatsoever. It's never too late, man. And never base your whole life and your success based off of money. You know, money is not everything. It's a necessary evil, but it's a lot more to life than money. Like, your character is worth more than money to me.
I agree.
And just lift the next person up, you know. You never know how much of an impact that could have, or what you could do for somebody, you know.
I agree 100%.
But that's it, man.
Man, I appreciate you. We got family again, man. This is going out to the family, to the community, man. And I appreciate Marquise, man. Just met another brother of mine, and don't forget to subscribe to the pod. Check it out.
Subscribe to my guy.
Yeah, be more pod.
Be more pod.
Be more pod. Marquise gonna come back around here again to chop it up for us. This is the first time me and my family member gonna chop it up. So, man, I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, man. So
appreciate you, brother.
So we signing off, man. So